Hi guys, it's Jake with Bandit. He's in a happy mood today. He just wanted to sit on my lap, so he'll be here for a few seconds at least. Today we're taking a look at the Sanrenmu 7130 fixed blade. So this is from their fixed blade series. There is a 7139, I think, coming out. I'm really looking forward to that. It looks a lot like one of the real steel knives, the fixed blade knives. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This is the 7130 FUF-SF. And out of the box, it looks like this. You've got a chain for a neck knife, which I would replace with paracord. And then you've got a plastic sheath, and you've got the knife in there. So it's just a full tang, solid knife, no handle scales. You can wrap it with paracord if you want to. It actually wraps very well. Sub 3-inch blade, just barely. So if that's one of the legal requirements for fixed blades where you live, this thing will fit. So it's a very good fixed blade EDC choice, or, you know, a small camp knife. Bandit wants to go down. There you go. And we've got a really cool feature on the sheath as well. So stick around for the full review of the Sanrenmu 7130. I'm really liking it a lot. I'm thankful that I finally got it delivered. A knife that fits very well into your hand. You can put your pinky through that hole if you want to. And at least for my size hand, it fits perfectly. My hand is large, bordering on extra large. That's between like 10 and 11 in European sizes. And then your thumb goes across the end here. You know, you can hold this knife in almost any way that you want. There's a backhand hold, that way, a reverse blade, you know, pinch grip to do delicate cutting. And this will do some really good delicate cutting. You just have to get your index finger in that choil. You know, just what any kind of hold you want, it's going to work for you. No problem at all. You can wrap this with paracord. I'll show you some pictures, or at least one picture of how somebody wrapped it with paracord. I would probably wrap it with 9-strand paracord because that's thicker. I've got some 7-strand paracord, and you can see how it's kind of flat. So it's wider that way than when you turn it this way. 9-strand paracord tends to be more round and sort of filled in. It's the same size casing, but inside there's more, you know, more cordage. And so it's a fuller and therefore softer, more cushioning kind of material. I really like it that way, but it fits really well in the hand and is quite comfortable with nothing, no paracord at all. We've got the sheath here, and it's, I'm not sure exactly what kind of plastic this is. I'm going to try to get that information for you, and I'll put it on the screen. And if I don't have it on the screen, it's definitely going to be in the description below. I'm just talking faster than my tongue can move today. It's a very convenient kind of holder because you can take this belt loop off, and then it's just a neck knife. And I'd probably use paracord instead of this chain. It's just be more comfortable, and I'd use that breakaway feature that I have. I've got some breakaway snaps for paracord, which means when you're having this around your neck, if all of a sudden you got snagged on a tree or something, or if you fell and it got caught somewhere, it would just break apart and, you know, you wouldn't choke to death. So that's a good thing. Instead of using this chain kind of stuff, this chain would probably break as well, but maybe not if this was on somebody that's not quite as heavy. I'm a heavy boy. So we've got this plastic. You've got some really strong retention right there. You can take this belt loop, and it turns and it locks in all kinds of different positions. I think 9 different positions. So depending on how you want to carry it, you can carry it horizontally, like on your back if you want to, or on your hip, or you can carry it traditionally. Here's a picture of somebody carrying it the way you normally carry, with a belt loop on your back. You know, your belt loop's horizontal, and the knife just, let me put that in there. So your belt goes through there this way, and then it just sort of hangs to the back a little bit, That's a really good way to carry it. You just use your thumb right there. They've got some jimping that they put right there. So notice that this side doesn't have any. So that when your knife is in there, you get your finger inside the choil, you put your thumb in there, and you just push while you grab, and it comes out very easily. But once it's in there, it's nice and snug. You can make it wiggle when you're holding it, but if you're just shaking it, you know, it's quite quiet, hardly any noise at all. Very good sheath. You know, a Kydex sheath might be a good thing to do, and I found out that my wife is buying me some of the things I need to start making my Kydex sheaths. I've been waiting for it. I still don't have all the stuff that I need, but we're slowly getting there. So I might make a new sheath for this. And I'd probably use this belt loop feature. Maybe not. I don't know. But this is a really good sheath option. And then the knife itself is just a simple, elegant, really, really nice knife. And, you know, it reminds us of, you know, the SE series of knives. It's got a nice sharpener's choil in there, full flat grind, drop point, 8CR13 MOV steel, which I hope that they do another run of these and start using some Sandvik steel for this. That would be a really good upgrade. It's a nice thin piece of steel. There you go. And maybe it's time to give you all the dimensions. We've got a cutting edge of 7.07 centimeters. That's 2.78 inches. Blade length, and for that I measured right at the bottom here to the tip of the blade, so the longest distance I could find until it was the thickness of the handle here. That is 7.55 centimeters, 2.97 inches. So from the thick handle to the furthest tip, it's still less than 3 inches, so that's a good thing. The thickness of the steel right here when the blade starts is where I measured. It's 3.57 millimeters. That's 0.14 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.66 millimeters. That's 0.026 inches. It's a little thicker than I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be between 0.5 and 0.6. The handle length of this knife is 10.64 centimeters. That's 4.19 inches. And the grip area over here is 8.03 centimeters, 3.16 inches. You know, the handle depth this way is something I didn't measure. So let me get out my ruler right now. Total length for this knife, it's 17.2 centimeters, which is 6.77 inches. So it's a nice, good size, fairly discreet knife. It weighs 59 grams, 2.1 ounces. Not bad at all, isn't it? Just great, if you ask me. Including the sheath, there's a light little piece of plastic, 128 grams, which is 4.5 ounces. So basically it doubles it up plus a tiny bit by adding the sheath to the mix. This knife is also on sale right now. It's on a sale until the end of Christmas Day. After Christmas Day, the price is going to go up. And then GearBest does sales every once in a while, so you never know what the price is going to do. But whenever it's on a good sale like this, it's a good time to jump in and buy them if you can. Stock is limited though, so get out there if you want to get it. So what do I like and not like about this knife? I really like this stonewash. I love how stonewash feels in the hand. It makes steel feel soft somehow. It's a little hard to explain unless you're one of those people that really likes a stonewash feel and you got a good sense of how that feels. To me, it just feels it's got some kind of softness to it. The spine is rounded off while the edges everywhere are just slightly rounded off. And that's a really good thing for comfort. And the tip stays fairly thick until you get right close to the tip. So it's a fairly strong tip. I don't recommend doing tip tests because you're just asking to break your knife for no good reason. I don't do that when I have my knife in practice. You know, if I need to dig something out, you know, I cut around it until I get there. And then, you know, but just sticking your knife in and prying, not a very wise thing to do. because steel can break, and once it breaks, it's broken. Who wants a broken knife? Nobody. So take care. I like to take care of my knives. It's just my nature. I really like that you've got the option of a neck knife or a belt knife. So your carry options are really good. You can wrap paracord and it stays, it's a good thing for wrapping paracord on if that's what you like. The price is really good. It's comfortable in the hand. I think a lot of people find this knife very comfortable. I asked my wife to hold it, and she found it quite comfortable, and she's got, between small to medium women's hands, which are quite different from mine, and she also found this comfortable. It's a very lightweight knife, just over 2 ounces. If you did need to use this knife for a longer period of time, you're not going to fatigue very easy. Let's zoom out a little bit here. So yeah, if you got your knife in your hand and you're going to use it for an extended period of time, your hand isn't going to get all tired from carrying it. So many different holds that you can do with this knife. Let me turn my hand around. You can put your finger through that hole. Well, here, did it on this one to give you sure grip. So it's not going to fall out of your hand, or if it catches on something, you've got much more security. I'm really looking forward to the next fixed blade knife that Sanrenmu is doing. If you check out their website, their newest website is srmknives.com. It's only in Chinese. I use Google Chrome and I use their translate feature. That helps a little bit, but the site isn't totally established. Well, it's established, but it's not totally populated. That's the word I'm looking for. So that it's not that easy to look around through it, but it's better than what they had. Retention in the sheath. Some people might find it a little bit too strong when it's brand new, but that retention will wear in over time. So don't get too upset if that retention is a little bit hard. 2 things will happen. You'll begin to get used to exactly how much pressure you need to pop it out. And that retention spot right here will become a little bit softer over time. So you don't want it loose. And so they make them a little bit stronger so that they'll have a much longer, comfortable life. That's the only negatives is, the retention that you got to get used to. And I wish for a better steel. I really do. What do I really like about this? I like the fit and finish, the attention to detail. Yeah, it looks simple and easy, but you can easily screw up a knife like this. But the sharpener's toil is great. They did the chamfering on the edges of all these holes, softening the edges of the spine of the blade, and everywhere around, everything's been softened except for this edge right here. This is a good knife. Let's do some cutting. Let's get some paracord out here. I like cutting through multiple strands at a time instead of just one strand, because any knife, well, not any knife, but most knives can cut through one strand of paracord without too much problem. Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be. That slid through there very easily. I try to make it cut through the same spot all the way across instead of doing this slicing action. This kind of cutting, most knives can do very well. But when you're doing a push cut, keeping it at the same spot on the blade, then you've got a sharp knife. Hey, I think my wife just came home from work. This is her last day of work before the end of the school year. Not the school year, before Christmas break. So she must have just got home, and it's now officially Christmas break. So I'll go upstairs and say good afternoon to my wife, and then we'll come back and we'll do a summary of this knife. Keep watching. So to summarize, I really like this knife. Even at the regular price, I recommend this as a buy at GearBest, no problem at all. Thank you so much if you use my links at GearBest. That really helps to fund this channel a little bit. I do want to let you guys know that GearBest has the links expire after 30 days. So if you use one of my GearBest links on a video that's more than 30 days old, I don't get any credit for it. Unfortunately, that's just the way they go. So if I can ask you to go to the newest video that you can find of an item that I got from GearBest, and use the GearBest link to open up the GearBest page, and then search for, the knife that you just watched the video on. So let's see, if you're watching this in February, go to one of the newest videos, click on the link to GearBest, and then once you're at GearBest, search for 7130, and you will find this knife. And then if you buy it, even though you didn't use a direct link to this knife, you did use one of my links to get to GearBest, that will give me any credit for anything that you buy at GearBest then. So that's a way that you guys can help me out. Hopefully I can, get this information out to everybody of a way of helping out this channel, because the funding that I get from YouTube for advertisements is very low. I do get some money from advertising now that, the channel's grown to a size getting close to 3,000 subscribers. I get about $25 a month now. So that does help, almost $1 a day. And every little bit helps to keep this channel moving. Thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. All those things help an awful lot. Remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.